In the quiet little town of Pageville, there stood an old, cozy library. It was a place filled with tall shelves reaching for the ceiling, and soft lamps that cast a warm, golden glow. And living right there, among all the books, was a calm grey cat named Luna. During the day, Luna loved to sleep on warm bookshelves, her fur a soft patch of grey against the colourful spines. At night, when the library was empty and still, she would quietly pad between the aisles, a silent guardian of the stories. But Luna had a secret, a magical secret. When the moon rose high in the sky and shone through the tall library windows, the books became magical. One night, just as the grand old library clock chimed 12, Luna noticed something strange. She was perched on a stack of encyclopedias when a book on a nearby shelf began to glow with a gentle, pulsing light. Then another book started to glow, and another. Soon, pages all around the library began to flutter softly, as if stirred by a silent breeze. Tiny, sparkling lights floated up from the books and danced through the air like fireflies. Luna's whiskers twitched with excitement. "The magic is starting," she purred to herself, her voice a low rumble. A big, heavy storybook on a low table creaked open all by itself. Its pages turned, and out stepped a tiny, shimmering dragon, no bigger than Luna's paw. It blinked its jewel-like eyes and stretched its tiny wings. "Hello!" the dragon squeaked in a surprisingly high-pitched voice. Luna blinked back, but remained perfectly calm. She had seen this many times before. "Welcome to the library," she replied, her tone warm and steady. The little dragon gave a happy flap of its wings, flew a small circle in the air, and then zipped right back into its book. The pages closed gently behind it with a soft thud. The night was just getting started. Another book, this one with a blue cover, opened wide, and the sound of the ocean filled the air. Gentle waves spilled out, splashing harmlessly across the wooden floor. A miniature pirate ship, complete with tiny sails, sailed by on the magical water before it too slipped back between its pages. From a book of fairy tales, a swarm of twinkling lights emerged, zipping and dancing around the lamps. Luna walked carefully through the magical chaos, her tail held high. She gently guided the stories, making sure a brave knight from one book didn't accidentally bump into a group of talking animals from another. "Easy now," she would say softly, her voice a calming presence in the night. Suddenly, amidst the gentle hum of magic, Luna heard a small, worried sound. It was a faint cry coming from between two tall shelves. "I can't find my book," a little voice wailed. A small story character, a brave little mouse in a red coat, was lost and confused. Luna followed the sound, her ears twitching. She sniffed the air, catching the faint scent of old paper and adventure that belonged to the mouse's story. She located the right book, which had accidentally been pushed behind another. With a gentle nudge of her head, she pushed the book open. The little mouse character looked up, his eyes wide with relief. He hopped back inside his story happily. "Thank you," he called out just as the book closed. As the first hints of dawn began to lighten the eastern sky, the magic in the library started to fade. The books closed themselves one by one. The sparkling lights dimmed and disappeared. The sound of the ocean and the whispers of characters grew silent. Everything became quiet and still once more. Luna yawned, stretched her front paws, and curled up on her favorite red cushion by the front desk. She closed her eyes, tired but content. Another night of magical stories had passed, all safely watched over by their furry guardian. When the librarian, a kind woman named Mrs. Gable, arrived in the morning, everything looked perfectly normal. The books were neatly on their shelves, the floor was dry, and the air was quiet. But if you happened to be in the Pageville Library on a quiet afternoon, and you listened very, very closely, you might just hear a soft, happy purr coming from somewhere between the shelves. Thanks for joining Luna on her magical night. If you love cozy stories like this, don't forget to like and subscribe for more adventures. See you next time.